Because it's ridiculously.
Okay, we are live. We are live, and as we go live, Derek walks away. Well, yes.
Yeah,
no, I'm fine. Thanks.
Fine just now, mate, thanks.
Anyone?
We are live.
We are live. Welcome to the Weird Decibels podcast 2025 30th anniversary.
There's all the Rudy videos if you want.
No, sorry.
We're all here.
So,
We're drinking beer.
Hi everyone.
Greg, can you explain what we've been doing today?
We have been writing some new tunes around at Derek's house with our acoustic guitars.
How many songs did we write, Greg?
4.5, I think.
4.5.
The count was.
A couple of ideas.
I think it might be 5.5.
Sounding good.
4.5.
Yeah.
4 and 2 halves.
Derek, could you speak into the microphone? Speak into the microphone.
Yes, I can speak into the microphone.
So I'm going to ask all you guys, 30 years, we've not, I wouldn't say we've properly celebrated it yet because we've been working and holidays and kids and
Other bands.
always cast up.
Only joking.
So what was your favourite memory of our first year together? And I'll ask Stu first.
We had quite a few nice gigs at the Martell back in the day. Battle of the Bands. What was the one where all the kids came over from Germany, the school?
Yeah, that might have been. That was the
Quarterfinals,
of the
was it?
Battle of the Bands. Because it was a year before. It was a year after I'd been. It was the next batch. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the guys that was. I can't remember. Was it the guys that were all from Steve Me? It was definitely the quarter-final. I can't remember if it was the guys that
That's
I
the
was
one I
part
got.
of.
That's the one I got on video.
Yeah, I think it was a year after, but they were all there, right?
Yeah, that was pretty enjoyable.
Great, that was a good night.
Yeah.
That's about one of the best
That's
gigs.
when the Martell was bouncing.
Go
That
away
was,
for a pound.
it was amazing, yeah. Okay, over to Derek. Favourite memory of the first year?
Probably actually the very first practice.
Yeah.
That whole not knowing what to expect, and I knew you a bit. I didn't know you guys. I knew Pabs a bit. Just that whole not knowing what to expect and going in there and just playing in a band because you've never done it before. You thought about it for ages, but you've never done it before. And I remember sitting that night being like, "Oh, holy crap! I'm out my depth here." these boys can actually.
I've always said that.
I have, but I'm sitting there rattling about a basic 4/4 riff, and Stu comes out with that solo for educational suicide. I'm like, "Oh crap! I'm in the fucking room with James Hetfield here. What's going on?"
The song that Greg and I kind of made.
Yeah, we wrote that at my sister's house.
Yeah, crazy.
Stu rattles out this solo, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
So that's either your knee
I
that's
was 15,
creaking.
man.
That's either your knee that's creaking or the seat.
It could be both.
And over to Greg. What was your first?
Yeah, it was just the
the first year, what was your favourite?
It was like, that was before Asda was bought, so it was just like this waste ground outside the practice room.
Danger rabies.
Back in all, yeah.
That's right, the
Danger
Danger
rabies
Rabies
sign above the door.
Yeah.
And just getting together and playing some music, it was great.
Was the first time you went to the studio? Was that within the first year?
I have no idea.
Slightly.
I think that was
96.
probably January 96.
So that's my favourite then.
Because I was still in high school.
My favourite moment of the first year was when we were in the car and Greg was driving again. Thank you. And we put the tape on that we'd just done, and we were hearing our music for the first time come through the car stereo. Not the first time, but you know what I mean, like proper.
We've done that ropey 4-track thing.
Yeah, where the guy put the faders up when he asked us to.
We'd done that, but we'd also remember we tried to do one ourselves in the room with the 4-track.
And we did that first the educational suicide. But I remember driving away from split level.
The 4 tracks, you had the bass and the drum bounced into one track, so that was all the mics and the drum.
Aye.
And the one mic and the bass all
Well,
bounced into one track.
there was
Sounded great.
3 mics on the drums, and that got bounced down to one
That's on a
track.
bootleg.
Then there was 1 mic on the bass, then the bass and the drums got bounced down to 1 track.
So, yeah, so
and then he had 2 tracks to himself,
Naturally.
he's pointing at Pabs here, listening to the
and making a sign with my hand.
High five.
So I'm aware that. So that's my favourite memory. And the second question I've got for you guys is, I'm going to start with Greg. What is your favourite era from the last 30 years? So era as in DB1, DB2, the Axe era,
I really
the
like
early
Riot
era.
Act.
Riot
It's
Act.
an era. Remember Deke's flat recording some of the tunes, but Dave Broom was there.
Yeah.
And we were trying to come up with the cover, and somebody came up with the idea of punching the wall outside. And folks were punching the wall and scraping their knuckles in the wall, and
Yep.
Dave just walks in, was this is how it's done? Crack! It smacks the door out.
So it's not dead in that
was
wall.
hilarious.
Just it.
Whose fist is actually on the cover?
It's mine.
It was either a combination of blood and tomato sauce.
It's most of the blood.
Yeah.
So Greg, yours was the one more solo. Riot Act, sorry. Riot Act. So alright, Riot Act era. Okay, Derek, over to you.
This is going to probably be what you may think is a crap answer, but my favourite era is the one we're in. Because it's the one you don't know what's going to happen
I was
yet.
not expecting that.
Right.
Absolutely.
So every era we've done has been great. Right? There was like the early years, then there was the solo stuff, then the acts, then the DBs. But right now you're like, we're writing again. You know what's going to happen. Are we going to write that album?
Yeah.
So I like living in the now.
That album that we've always kind of chased sometimes.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Have we
but
got
you
them?
never.
Maybe we have written a best album.
February would have been a good show, but
I could have ruined that.
I think if we wrote that album, I'd probably give up because you couldn't do any better. So I think.
So as much every year's been great, but I'm kind of quite excited about this one.
I was not expecting that. So Derek's this era, Stu.
I would say one more solo, because that was like a comeback stuff.
Aye, it was, aye.
And we played an absolute shitload of gigs.
Remember we did our
Glasgow.
tour, like Sorleys, and you had the couple
Few
try
uni ones as well.
Yeah, and then we met Crank Solo, and we're still friends, and we're now playing a gig with them in September. What's the date? 19th. Yeah, another
Friday night.
which is going to be awesome. Yeah, that was a good year as well.
It was, we were talking about this earlier, just that sort of comeback album and how relatively easy it was to run that album. It just flowed out of us.
See, we're sitting here now in the second half of the band, or not second half, but after we.
At this point, we're about 18th.
But we're longer as like,
Season.
because if I never bumped into by the wall, because I'm not idea what to do. It's mental. My favourite era.
We actually came back as a 6-piece, remember?
That's right, aye, with Cass and Burnley involved.
That's good with keys there,
I guess my favourite era was a tough one actually, but it's got to be DB1. Just the fact that we started playing live again and writing some of our best music. Went away at the cottage, which loved. Social media, although it's not a good thing, but back then it just seemed to connect with a lot of people a lot better, and we had a lot of gigs out it. And then we did all the music videos, and we had like thousands of views for Wonder, which remember we watched that, like the views racking up, and then we shot the videos as well, and that was good time.
We nearly got arrested for filming the video on a Sunday lunchtime.
Although I've got to say all that.
I'd have got away if it wasn't for that bus.
Oh, it's a big maneuver, sir.
That's what you don't know it. I don't know what you're on about.
Right, final question would be your favourite album from the last 30 years. And that could be anything we've really recorded. So I started with Stu and I went to Greg, so I'm going to go with
Did you
Dave.
go one of ours?
Yes,
It's just not, can I say Trouble Girl?
that can come later. That can come with influence.
There's two, and I flip between them depending on what kind of mood I'm in. And my two favourites are DB1 and DB2, and I can. Some days I'm DB1, some days I'm DB2. Just I say depending on what kind of mood I'm in. Today I'd probably say DB2
Half
but
an
tomorrow
hour.
I might say DB1.
Half an hour of rock. It's like it's literally a short album. It's
I
nice.
love DB1. I think DB1's a fantastic album. Running order got wrong, but DB2 is there's so many different sounding songs on it, but it works. Like how can you have an album with Kill It and Almost Beautiful on the same album?
Yeah.
But it works.
And Stu, I'll go.
February,
Wow.
because we're all jamming in the same room.
Yeah.
That
I
was
see what
It's
you're
all
going
that we
for.
were recording.
So someone made a mistake, we had to start again.
Yeah, that's right.
So it
That's
got
my
pretty picked out.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
5 years, that is. That album, 5 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So February for you, too.
So for me, this is between February and edge of February.
Right, is nowhere near.
Yeah, no, that's my favourite.
No, it's your choice. It's amazing how like different opinions. Right Act, maybe lyrically, I don't know. Just you don't go out to write a bad album. Why would you do that? And you go out to write your best album. But I just don't know. Just sometimes things don't come together. But I tell you one thing. See, going away to record at Carrick. That was incredible. My favourite album. It's a tough one for me.
The one you're writing now.
Is it Whopper? Is it Whopper?
You usually say what?
You always went back to that one.
Whopper's classic. I'd probably say it's Whopper, yeah. Just lyrically, I think it's a hit on the spot. So I've totally killed the buzz in this room.
That's killer.
Alright then, so Derek's added an extra question. What is your top influence over the last 30 years for Weird Decibels before we call it a day
Top influence?
on this podcast? You already said it.
As in, well, that's like just a brilliant album. That's like an influence in how you play. Is that what you're asking?
I guess you've got another album?
Well, it's not an album for me. The influence for me as a drummer is Jimmy Chamberlain.
Alright, okay, good.
Right? That's who I try to emulate. Because I'm not as good as other drummers. No offence, Jimmy Chamberlain, but that's my style is Jimmy Chamberlain.
Awesome drummer.
He's fantastic. Because I can't play
Better than Dave Grohl, I'm not sure. But
I think he's different to Dave Grohl. Like I think
Guys in unit.
Stuart Copeland's amazing, but I can't Stuart Copeland. Only Stuart Copeland can Stuart Copeland. I can't John Bonham. Only John Bonham can John Bonham. I can't Keith Moon. Only Keith Moon can Keith Moon. Can I Jimmy Chamberlain? Probably not, but that's kind of good to try.
We believe you can, Derek.
Well, thanks, man.
Stu, I'm kind of struggling to think who your top influence would be. I knew who it was at the very start because
I have lots of influences, but I can't actually.
Gary Moore.
Yeah,
you bought so many guitars that
Gary
like
Moore, Eddie Van Halen. But I can never emulate them, so just do my own thing now. Lots of influences, but yeah, I just try and be individual because you don't want to sound like someone else. So that's what I look at it.
It's a great line, Bendividual. That's what you call the album.
the individual.
Bendividual.
Pendividual.
Bend.
Bend.
Bend?
Pendividual.
Is that what you said?
Individual.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Bendividual. I just obviously can't hear.
Is that even a word?
Bendividual.
Bendividual.
Are you first?
Bendividual, please for Antwerp.
Okay, this is my losing.
Left back in the dressing room.
Greg.
Oh, I've got many bass players out there. Just get the coach. Guys, that tattoos. Say again?
My tattoos.
Aye. Guys from all
Brad.
Well, I've got loads of favourite bass players, but the sound I like to get is something like I like the baby kissing because it's like quiet and heavy. I like the quiet heavy, that's what I like.
Aye, so for me, probably obvious Kurt Cobain, but I think with Weird Decibels, it's probably still Eddie Vedder. Just Eddie Vedder would probably be mine, because sometimes I wish we could go back to, we probably could if we wanted to, but just being vocals. We just do
You could do that with something you like that.
We could do that for next album. Yeah. And the pigeons are saying no, so that the cuckoo, yeah. So that concludes. Oh, they're getting it on. Anyway, so that concludes our podcast. Looking forward to the album getting recorded when that happens, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, friends.